How are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy, Sideshow Joe. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I've got something a little bit different for you boys today. I've seen a lot on Twitter lately, loads and loads of posts about people doing their top 10 CODs of all time, stuff like that. There's so many like conflicted opinions. So I thought I'd get my, my little slice of the pie. So, without further ado, I won't waste any more of your time. We're going to get straight into the motherfucking tier list, boys. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Right, I've never ever done a tier list before, so I imagine you just drag and drop. So basically, these are our CODs down here. Advanced Warfare, Black Ops, all the different Black Ops. I'm not sure how to tell the difference between the Black Ops. It's pretty straightforward, I'm sure. So, we're going to do them in order that they are presented to us, okay? I think that makes sense. So, I ain't going to waste any more of your time. I'm going to jump straight into this. This is not a top 10 list. This is ranking all the Call of Duties. We've even got, like, I think this one's Call of Duty 1. That's crazy. COD 2, COD 3. Right then. There are a couple of CODs I haven't played over the years, and I'll put them in the never played section. So we do, speaking of the sections, of course, we have God. Right. Does what it says on the tin. Best CODs of all time. Great. Ones that I enjoyed, I would play them again. Alright are the ones that I might have had a bit of a phase with, a little bit of a love story. Maybe bought it when it came out, played it for 3 months and then never touched it again. Meh are the CODs that I just never really had the time for. Trash. They're very straightforward titles, you know what I mean? I think we can all suss out my opinions on certain CODs based off where I put them without me having to explain it into too much detail. So we're going to start with Advanced Warfare. And I'm going to start off with a bang, because although it was very controversial, Advanced Warfare, out of all of the EXO CODs, Advanced Warfare was my favourite. And I didn't like it for sniping and trick shotting per se, but I did enjoy just running around, sweating. And I thought some of the maps on that game were so good. What was that map? You know, the one, it's like a Greek-style map, Santorini. I think it was called like Terrace. Yeah, it was called Terrace. That was probably one of my top 10 maps of all time on all CODs. So I'm going to put Advanced Warfare in great. It's not God tier by any stretch of the word. I didn't put thousands of hours into the game, even hundreds of hours probably. Maybe a couple of 100 hours. But it was just one that I loved playing when I didn't really have much on. I kind of like stepped out the trick shot sniping scene, and I didn't enjoy playing this game just for like KD and stuff. Because like I loved the way how like free flowing the EXO was. You could like slam down like really fast. I don't think they did that with any of the other EXO games. Like you could jump, dart across, slam down. It's very like chunky squared movement, but in the best possible way. Right, that's Advanced Warfare anyway. Black Ops 1. Do you know what, boys? I didn't like Black Ops 1 at all. I didn't realise this was probably one of the highest selling COD games when it first came out. I think it potentially was. It was one of the most hyped games. But for me, the graphics were good. Yeah, the graphics were insane at the time. Nuketown's obviously like one of the best maps ever. I just didn't like it. Remember you'd go to quickscope. I don't know why I'm reenacting it in real life, and you go like, every time you quickscope. I didn't like that. And I just never got good at it. I think my KD is like 0.6 something. It just was never for me. I couldn't get into the flow of it. There are some good maps, like you say, Nuketown. I liked Havana a lot. Havana was one of my favourite maps. The snowy one that got remade in Black Ops 2. I can't think of the name for it for the life of me. So for me, I'm stuck between meh and trash. I'm going to go meh. Give it the benefit of the doubt. Because it was the first game that had a solid bots. Like a solid, decent bot system. And what I liked about it as well is I remember the bots that joined the game were like all your friends' list names. And when I was a trick shotter, if I couldn't get a 6-man, I would go on Black Ops 2 and just go for some shots on bots, you know what I mean? It was a good time. Definitely a good time. Black Ops 2 now, boys. Ooh. Do you know what? It's got to be one of the best of all time, to be honest. Like, some of the most iconic maps ever. Raid, Carrier. Even, like, Studio's better than Firing Range, in my opinion. I know they're the exact same map. It just felt better for me. I liked sniping on it. I liked trick shotting on it. Talking about the bots in Black Ops 1. Black Ops 2 bots was even more fun. good competitive scene. Like, it's the game a lot of YouTubers and stuff blew up on as well. Like, FaZe made their craft in Modern Warfare 2, but I mean, Black Ops 2 was the game that they really, like, well and truly cemented themselves as, like, a big organisation, you know? A lot of their players got their come up on this game, should I say. So it's got to be a god game, for sure. I've spent so many hours on that game. Black Ops 3, another good one. I haven't played it too much myself. I never owned the game. I used to go around to my friend's house very, very often. Like, flipping like once, twice a week, and we'd play this a lot, if that makes sense. I'd say I put about 30 hours into the game. So it's probably not enough to tell, but it's enough for me to have at least some sort of opinion. It was EXO. You could do all like the wall runs and stuff. I did enjoy it. I'm not going to put it in meh. I'm going to put it in alright. I know like the competitive scene was massive on it. The trick shot some of the shots that people hit on Black Ops 3, I thought the trick shot was really cool and like unique. I remember like people would run along walls, do a quick 180, run along the wall to get extra height. And just the way that all the shots played out always looked cool to me. I never really did much trick shotting on the game, should I say, but I like the stuff that I've watched and seen, really enjoyable. So I'm gonna put it in all right. I think that's a good solid place to put it. Black Ops 4, never played it. I'm afraid it's gonna have to go and never played. This was the kind of time when I just sort of stepped out of gaming. I didn't really like play it much. I'd more play like basic, like easy on the mind games like Minecraft and stuff. I won't even lie, I love the bit of Minecraft, you know what I mean? And then I wouldn't even play that very often. So for me, like, I can't really say I've got an opinion on it, to be fair. That's fair anyway. I don't know what you... Tell me guys in the comments what you guys think of Black Ops 4, because I never even gave it a chance. COD 1. I'm going to go meh. I have played it a couple times. It's just COD 1, isn't it? They've set the ground rules. It was the beginning of what is Call of Duty today. So you've got to give it credit where credit's due. I can't put it in trash. Can't put it in never played because I have never played it. So we're just going to leave it at that on meh. Call of Duty 2, on the other hand, right? So I remember when I was younger, me and my stepbrother used to share a room. And my stepbrother was a beast at COD 2. He used to go to like events and stuff like back in 2007 and shit. Like, he'd like been there, done that, met up with gaming friends in real life at these events. And I remember I just used to sit there and watch him play it for hours. And then fast forward like 3-4 years later, I was playing Modern Warfare 2 and things, and I bought COD 2 just because I remember like watching him play it and being amazed. And even though the sensitivity and stuff, like I think you're capped at 4 sensitivity, like if you're talking relative to about like Modern Warfare 2 for example, like the maps are sick, the game feels smooth. I don't know, I love COD 2. I think it should be considered one of the most iconic CODs ever. Because people forget this is where like Grizz started. Grizz hit a 720 on COD 2 when it was the new COD, and it, like all this whole sniping community, like montage content in general, probably wouldn't be a thing about Call of Duty 2. I imagine it would be, but it was what stemmed it in reality, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna put COD 2 in God. I'm putting it in God, boys. I love it that much. It's well and truly up there for me. People don't understand. And I can't think of the name of the maps. There's one map that Wasteland was based off, and I loved playing that. And then there's another map. It's like a Saudi kind of villagey themed map. I love that stuff. Love that one. It's all like rooftop based. I hit a weird ass ladder stall on this game back in the day as well. If I can find the clip, I'll put it in the video as well. It did nothing. I just did like a 270 onto the ladder and then turned and shot the guy. Oh man, funny times. I was freaking out too, and it was literally like an absolute nothing clip. It was crazy.
Axis eliminated. Allies win.
Moving on to COD 3. I want to give the old CODs their dues, you know what I mean? But I never rated COD 3. Even back in the day, I remember my stepbrother played COD 3, and then he like didn't like it, went straight back to COD 2. A bit like what everybody does these days with CODs. They'll play the new one for a bit and then go back to the previous year's one. Just seems to be a bit of a trend with Call of Duty, and it was even the case back then. I like, by the way, when I'm talking about my stepbrother playing, of course, like, I had goes and stuff, but I was young, man. I didn't really know what I was doing, so I only judge my opinion on like being amazed at him being good and then going back to try the games myself. COD 3, I'm sorry boys, it was a trash one. I love the memes that are made out of the cover when the guy's like, I've always seen this meme on the internet. I can't really explain it, but it's something like, how do I quickscope? And then the guy behind him was like, you're looking the wrong way, idiot. Oh, funny times. So yeah, COD 3 is trash for me, I'm afraid. Black Ops Cold War. Right. I loved it for about 3 weeks when it came out, and I played it non-stop. I don't know if it's because when a new game comes out, there's always noobs. But it was just like, after December, Christmas time came around, it just got so dead. The snipers are so slow. Bearing in mind, I always judge my games off playing as a sniper for the most part, unless I did anything otherwise. And I mostly snipe, so from a sniper's perspective, I did not like this whatsoever. I haven't played it since they added the new sniper. For me, it was always the Pellington, the Tundra, and the Barrett. The Barrett was like, flipping on, you go AWOL on the Barrett, you shoot once and then you shoot up here for the second bullet. The Pellington, too many hit markers, and the Tundra was good, but it was too slow. I couldn't get a feel for it. And then I don't like how there's not many maps. Even going back to talking about bots, the bots are lame. Like, if I remember rightly, like the two best maps in the game you can't play on bots. And if I wanted to go for some trick shots or something, I'd want to be playing, what's the big boat map called? I'm sure you guys know the one, but yeah, you can't play it. So I'm afraid, boys, it's going in trash. Black Ops Cold War is a trash COD. Oh, bloody hell. Speaking of trash CODs, actually, nah. Call of Duty Ghosts, right? Call of Duty Ghosts. I have a love-hate relationship with COD Ghosts. It's another game, when it first came out, I loved it. And then I hated it. And then I went back to it about 2 years later. And for some reason, it grew on me when I went back to revisit it. Because it's quite a fast-paced but slow-paced game. That makes no sense, I know, but like, it's got the classic mechanics. It's a bit like Modern Warfare 2. I want to say it's also a bit like Modern Warfare 3, probably closer to Modern Warfare 3. Some of the maps were insane. Full bot system, trick shotting on it. This is what I didn't like about it when it first came out. I thought that trick shotting on the game was terrible. There was nothing to go for. Everyone was just hitting like weapon swaps and stuff and like equipment cancels. And then I think everyone just put the game to rest. A year later, people start figuring out that you can do all this crazy stuff on it. And that's when it sort of took off again, I guess, for the trick shot community anyway. A sniper, I know a lot of snipers rate it. Is it the AX50? One of my favourite snipers of all time. So I'm going to have to put it in alright. Call of Duty Ghosts is alright, boys. Might be controversial. Some people hate Ghosts. Some people would probably put it in God. It's alright, man. It is alright. It's an alright game. So, damn, we've almost got 2 apiece right now. I'm keeping it even Stevens. COD Infinite Warfare. Jesus. Well, I've never played COD Infinite Warfare, to be fair. Never played it. I bought the game. It's still in the film. And the only reason I bought the game was for COD 4 Remastered, but never played that either because it's still in the film. I'm glad that's not on here. Because, yeah, I don't know anything about Infinite Warfare. I know a lot of people didn't like it, and a lot of people do say it's one of the worst CODs of all time. So, I'm going to have to rest on their laurels and say, even if I didn't put it in never played, I would put it in trash. But I've never played the game. So it's not fair. It's not fair for me to say. Right then, boys. Got the big boys left now. Call of Duty 4. What an iconic game. This, I feel like gaming as a whole, like gaming YouTube, gaming content, wouldn't be where it is without COD 4. It would still be there, but like it's more than that. Esports, everything, it sounds pathetic, but everything, in my mind, everything kind of stemmed from the growth of COD 4. That's what took it to the mainstream, I feel like, or started to pioneer and get the ball rolling, because it's like all of these big organizations, a lot of like the people that made the teams, created the teams, or like got inspired to like turn gaming like collectives into a business. A lot of them came from COD 4. Like a lot of them. Pros, the lot. It's the game that drew people in, and then it was probably one of the first games that YouTube content was put out on a regular basis as well. So, not to mention the game's amazing. I mean, quickscoping, probably the best quickscoping of all time. You could argue Modern Warfare 2 is better. Some of the best maps, the bounces, the glitches. Oh, it's all just so much fun, man. We all know how much fun COD 4 is. If you haven't played it, you're missing out. 110% God game. like, oh man, spawn traps on Bog, Crash, you know, when you jump down the stairs and like try and kill as many people as you can before you get naded or something. Oh, good fun. All in good fun. Modern Warfare 2, no words. No words to describe Modern Warfare 2. I'm lying. God tier, of course. Trick shotting, quick scoping, FaZe clan, optic predator montages, Grizz montages, reaps. The friggin' intervention, boys. Do you know what I mean? Even if you're not a sniper, the UMP, the ACR, the AK, like the best, gotta be the best COD of all time. In fact, I'm gonna make sure I put this here to signal, to like tell the world that this is the best COD of all time, no doubt. I got nothing else to say on it, so we'll move on to Modern Warfare 3. Modern Warfare 3, another God game. I love Modern Warfare 3. Some people didn't rate it. The way that it runs and the smoothness of it, like, it was amazing. I missed like MSR on the playing with the MSR on drop zone, Barrett 50 cal, the 2v2 face off, 3v3 face off. You guys remember like erosion and a ground. The trick shotting might have been a bit lackluster to begin with, but again, just like Ghosts, people discovered you could do other things on it as well. Sort of after it was given a bit more time. I feel like it had a good competitive scene. Don't quote me on that. I don't know too much about the competitive scene. Someone might have to educate me on it eventually. I know one of my best friends is definitely like so into it. But I remember like watching one of the first ever esports events I watched was on Modern Warfare 3 for COD when like FaZe made their team. So for me, it's an iconic game. Dome, Seatown, Mission, all these insane maps, trick shot maps. You had I want to call it oil rig. It's not oil rig. It's called like offshore. Insane. You could do like 6 spins in midair legit on that without doing any out the map glitches or anything. Insane, man. Modern Warfare, the new one, the new Modern Warfare, boys. It was a good game. It genuinely was. Warzone stemmed from it, but not only that. Again, AX50. Was it the AX50? Was that the one in Ghosts? I said this before. I'm not going to doubt myself. I'm going to move on. It might have been called something else. I enjoyed this game. I well and truly enjoyed this game. I think it was the first COD for a while that came out that was solid, and it's one first COD in ages that I still played consistently after Christmas. If that makes sense. Like a lot of the CODs, I'd buy them, play them for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe a month, and then not touch them again. So the fact that I continued to play Modern Warfare for a good like 3-4 months past Christmas does say a lot about my opinion of it. Trick shotting's a bit meh. Sniping as a whole is very, very good though, and I like the whole like all the maps. I want to say the class layout, but there's so many games with a similar class layout. But for me, it worked. Like I enjoyed it on Modern Warfare. I never like used to try and get like, was it Damascus camo? A challenge like that wouldn't have inspired me to do it, but I actually wasn't like in a normal COD I wouldn't even think about going for it. But on Modern Warfare, I definitely did. So I'm not gonna put it in God. I'll put it in great though. I did enjoy it as a game. World at War. I didn't play it much. I know Zombies started on World at War. I can't remember the name of the map, and I don't want to get flamed. It's not Kino de Toten, is it? Or maybe it is. Maybe that's the DLC one. Zombies was never my thing. And I don't know, man. It was not my game. I probably put about 10 hours into it. I didn't get it when it was new. I started playing that game about 4 years after it came out, and by that time it was just full of sweats and hackers and stuff. So my only judgment from that game is full of hackers or snipers. So unfortunately, boys, it's going in meh. That might be controversial. I know. World War 2. What can I say? This is another game I played. I played. Didn't make it past Christmas. I revisited it when I started to get bored of Modern Warfare, the new one, and I did enjoy it. I like that map where it's like you're all toy soldiers in like a sand bucket. That's good fun. Not World War 2 like at all, but you know, it's not a bad game. Sniping's enjoyable. Trick shotting's very, very bad. I wouldn't say there's been any like insane shots hit on there. I'm gonna put it in alright because it's a mixed bag for me. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I think I'm happy with that tier list, you know. I'm going to give that a print screen. and I'm gonna tweet it. If you guys did enjoy the video, please leave a like. Please subscribe. I'm really gonna try and get onto the YouTube grind. I'm still quite new to it, so I would appreciate feedback. And please let me know if you would change anything about this tier list. I know some people are out there fuming about World at War, and probably Black Ops 1 too. So, without further ado, this is the list. I'll give it a little zoom in. That's the list, boys. That's the list right there. Drink it in. Drink it in. Smell it. Whiff it. Swiff it, I was going to say. Whiff it. And, yeah. Right, boys. It's been your boy Sideshow Joe, and I'm off ski. Have a good day. I'll see you soon.